Hello there, I'm Dr. Samantha Durland. I'm board certified in obstetrics and gynecology. I'm board certified in anti-aging and regenerative medicine, as well as fellowship trained in metabolic and nutritional medicine. And today we are going to talk about body fat. So body fat, I believe, is a very interesting subject and something that a lot of people would love more data about. Sometimes we don't like to talk about it because we have a negative association with it. But when you look at body fat, what the heck is it? So body fat is a protection of the person within by an organism. So when you think about our body is very primal. It evolved in a cave over thousands of years. So any chronic stress to the human body, I perceive as a reflection of famine. And so your body's job is to love you from the day you're created until the day you die. So if your body's job is to love on you and keep you alive, number one, and number two, give you a good day, then if it perceives stress, it thinks of that as chronic famine. So if there's a famine, it wants to up body fat and reduce muscle mass, because muscle in the big scope of life is heavy and burns calories. And if there's no food and you're burning a lot of calories, you die, and that is bad in the eyes of your body. So your body says, all right, my job is to keep this little guy or this little gal alive, and so let me protect him or her in this beautiful, amazing body by making it burn less calories. Then it's less expensive in the eyes of nature, and it will survive that famine. And your body thinks that's beautiful love. But for the person within, a lot of times we're like, what is this? Because we feel slow. I know anyone whose body fat is going up and muscle mass is going down has a hard time remembering and concentrating. Oftentimes our sleep gets off. We're having a hard time finding motivation and movement. And we're just feeling sometimes a little bit anxious or even depressed at times. But it all actually goes together, and they are not separate entities, they are one. So if I find that my body has more body fat, reduced muscle mass, I'm finding energy to change my life. And I'm focused on the weight loss, but a lot of times we get kind of distracted about the fat and weight loss itself, and we forget to ask why we're there, which actually is very important, because if you don't fix the why, your body will continue to do what it's doing, and you will become frustrated. So I really feel like that's what we try to do, that really definitely, upon other things, sets us apart, is we really focus on the why. Now, as a fellow human being, I see that you sitting there may say, but I don't want to have to fix the why, because it's easier actually to have an abdominoplasty. It's easier to do cool sculpting than to fix the actual problem. But when people come back and they say, I've gained weight after my abdominoplasty, or cool sculpting didn't work, it's not that cool sculpting didn't work, and it's not that your abdominoplasty did not remove the fat and your stomach didn't get super tight, but you didn't fix the problem, and your body will never stop protecting you, because that's your body's job until the day you die. So what we are very passionate about is, of course, we have some of those procedures to help people remove body fat, but we also want to help you fix the why, because if you don't fix the why, then you won't be satisfied with your result, and you still don't feel right in your mind, and that is super, super, super important. So let's talk about body fat again. So number one, genetics. We are all genetically predisposed to put body fat on certain areas, and that's just your genes. And by the age of 20, your body fat cells are pretty much set subcutaneously. So that's why, as a female at the age of 20, we have a little bit more body fat than men traditionally have, because men have more testosterone than we do, and we have estrogen, so we have more subcutaneous fat. Now, the first place you put on body fat is the last place to lose. And so a lot of times I use this analogy of, there's that show that they drop the people off in the middle of the desert or the woods, and they run around for 21 days, they pick them up, and you look at the woman's body when they pick them up, and she doesn't have a lot of muscle mass left, but she still has a little body fat somewhere, whether it's that little pooch down there, because your body says, if I'm going to be stressed, I'm going to reduce her caloric expenditure by reducing muscle mass, but I'm going to keep a little body fat somewhere, because that's what's going to keep her safe. I have to keep her heart pounding and her brain working, and so this muscle, that's extra, but let's keep her alive. And so the first place to put on body fat is the last place to lose, and that doesn't mean when I have that little pocket of fat, you could do ab crunches till forever, but you're never going to fix that pocket of fat till you fix the why. So abdominal fat is not about crunches. So when you do crunches or planks or build up your core, you're building up your muscle strength, but that may have nothing to do with your body fat percentage. Your body fat percentage has to do with your stress. You modulate your stress, you modulate your body fat percent. And so when we're 20, again, we always have youth still in there, and youth allows us to cheat the system so we can eat a bean burrito, drink a little Dr. Pepper, and run 5 miles and still lose weight. But when we're 40, that whole math problem doesn't work, because actually you are skewing the system up front. So think about your body. Your body is, again, evolved in a cave. And I keep saying that over and over and over again because I think it's really important to kind of plant that imagery in your mind. And so if you came out of the cave at 40 years young, what would you see? You would see, hopefully, that there's animals running around, that there's some vegetables in the ground, and if it's hot, maybe there's some fruit growing from the tree. Because when it's hot outside, we move a little bit more, and so we need a little bit more sugar to help with that. But when it's cold outside, we don't do that as much. And when I come outside in Kansas or Iowa, guess what happens? Yeah, there's no fruit on the tree because there's no fruit trees growing fruit in the middle of the winter because I'm in the cave, right? And so, but I still need animals, and I still need fat, and I still need some vegetables. So that being said, nature's already telling you what you're going to do because that's how the world evolved anyway. So when we start aging, or if we're under chronic stress, no matter what your age is, what happens is that your body starts protecting you by upping body fat, reducing muscle mass, and we get tired, we can't remember and concentrate. And if we find one lick of energy to change our life, we try exercising and eating better, and a lot of times it doesn't work and we get frustrated. So maybe it's just stubborn fat. Maybe we just go in and cool sculpt it, liposuction, and cut it out. And yep, you're going to cut out that fat, but you didn't fix the process. And that is why the fat keeps coming back, because you have to fix the why. So that is kind of my big discussion for today, is when you think about these aesthetic procedures, which I totally believe in and they totally work, don't just think about the procedure, but think about the why. And we love to pair the why stuff with the procedures, so that at the end of the day, if you're going to invest in so much money in a procedure, let's just keep it working. And it is a little bit challenging to face these issues about the why and to help process through lifestyle modification. But it's actually easier to have a surgery than it is to change your life. And I smile just because I know that to be true in my own life. But I know that if I don't change that, I will never find my best sense of self, and I'll never get where I want to go. And then I keep coming back to the same place. And I didn't go to medical school to fail people. And I didn't, in my own life, go through all of this to not help people be their best sense of self. And so it might not be the popular answer to tell people, but it's the truth. And the truth is, we love to help the whole you. And I think that's what really kind of sets the team that I get to work with apart, is that they're passionate in helping your whole self. And we look at you from that perspective. And yet we're also really passionate about everything we do being the best that we are. And so in those aesthetic procedures, we're honest about them. We try to give you reasonable expectations so that the results you're so happy with. And we've also gone through all the different aesthetics things that we do, and we try them on ourselves, and we believe in them, and we wouldn't do anything to you that we don't believe in. And we really don't try to talk to you in the eyes of the machine that we use. We like to talk to you in the context of the mechanism of action, the science behind it, and the way that they work. So you as a consumer don't get sold on a machine, because it's not about the machine. It's about your biology. It's about you. It's about your understanding. And we don't want to sell you something or talk to you about something in a ways that you don't understand, because that would be crazy. We want you to understand it, because that brings you peace and connection with your body. So anyway, I hope you have a great day. Fat is awesome, because fat is your body's love for you in stressful environment. Fix the why, then with your procedure, and then with your future, you don't feel like you keep coming back to the same place. So have a great day, and thanks for joining us.